Today is the 28th of September 2023, and this will be our fourth lesson on angles. Okay, and we are going to talk about the corresponding angles or the F angles. Before I start today's lesson, thank you to everyone who has been watching our videos. Okay, please, can you consider subscribing, sharing, liking, and following? Okay, I'll really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Please follow my notes/script. I normally put this in the comment section. Okay, now with angles, as I explained, you need to watch what I'm talking about. So yesterday we were talking about alternate angles, where we saw the shape Z on two parallel lines. Okay, so assuming I'm pointing to the angles that are equal, you need to watch. Okay, if you don't watch it and you get a complex figure, even though it's right in front of you, you will not be able to identify them. Okay, your ability to identify this angle and see them as equal will help you simplify a complex shape so that you can get whatever angle they are asking you to look for. Okay, now beware of scammers. Okay, beware of scammers. Okay, if somebody sends you a foreign account or even a local account asking you for donation for orphanage, amputee, whatever, it's not coming from this platform, so don't fall for it. To recap from last lesson, okay, we started looking at angles between parallel lines. Okay, so I said to you, parallel lines are like the end of a road, or you have two roads, one end and the other end. Okay, and we look at and we say whatever we are learning is always true for parallel lines. Okay, and we do not apply them if the lines are not parallel. And I show you how parallel lines will look. Now, we look at alternate and Z angles yesterday, and then we linked it to vertically opposite angles, which we did in the previous videos. Okay, this will be our fourth video on angle. So if you are struggling to do angle work in maths, it's better for you to have a look, because I systematically take you through all the things you need to know. Okay, and by the time you finish watching them, you would have been able to solve the questions you have. Okay, now example here from what we did yesterday, the alternate angle or the Z or Z angle. So this is our Z figure here. Okay, we saw figures in different shape. So the Z can be turned upside down, or it can be straightforward, as you can see. Okay, and we said this angle A will be equal to the angle A. So if this is 56, okay, then that will be 56. And then we said this arrow means they are parallel. we said this is not true for non-parallel lines. Okay, it's only true and applicable when the lines are parallel. And then I showed you before vertically opposite angles. So if this is 56 and that is 56, then this is also 56. And then I can use the angle on a straight line to find this angle. So if there is a shape here, okay, and I'm asking to find the angle there, then after knowing this, I can find this, because if I know this vertically opposite angle, then I can find this shape, okay, because it's an angle at the point, and then use it to find the other angles. So here, find A. So A, this is 56. So using Z angles, alternate angles, the A here is also 56. Now today, our starter, we want to look at angle on a straight line. Okay, even though I haven't done a video, a straightforward video on it, I think I want to just use the starter, a few starters, to remind you of that. Because if you have a straight line, the angle on a straight line is 180. Okay, so now if I'm asked to find B, then, and this is 45, then all I have to do is to take 45 from 180. So B plus 45 is 180. So B will be 135 if you use your calculator, or this is easy, which you can do. Again, this angle is not to scale. Okay, angle on a straight line adds up to 180. Now our second one, now this is also an angle on a straight line. Okay, angle work, you will not always have the straight line in the horizontal form. You might have it in the vertical form as well. So you have to see it and apply. So B here, you need to find B. So straight away, you take 180 from 127, because the whole angle on this part of the straight line is 180. So if this is 127, then 180 minus 127 will give you B. So if you do it correctly, B is 53 degrees. Okay. The third example here, find B again. That is a straight line. Okay, that is my angle, and I'm supposed to find B. I know this, so applying angle on a straight line, 180 minus 159 should give me B. So 180 minus 159 is 21 degrees. So B here is 21 degrees. If you add 21 degrees to 159, you should get 180. Okay, so basically on a straight line, your angle should be 180. Okay, now today's starter, we are looking at corresponding angles, or F angle. As I showed you yesterday, we looked at the C angle. So C is like there, there, and there. This is where you should follow my notes. Okay, so you need to be watching. Okay, now today we are looking at F angles, and this is through all corresponding angles, that word. And this is true on parallel lines. So these two arrows says they are parallel lines. So the line is here. I've taken the F, so this is my F here. You can also find an F in that way. Sorry. And it's also true. Okay. Now with these corresponding angles, this C here equals this C here, and this C1 here equals the C1 here. Okay, so if I know this C, straight away the angle, this C and C are the same. So for instance, if they tell me C is 30 here, then it should be 30 here. So I can use the angle on the straight line to find the C1, which will also be true for this C1. So basically that is the F shape here, and we call these angles corresponding angles. Okay, now let's quickly look at some examples. Okay, now so our first example, that is two parallel lines. That is our line. Today we are not looking at alternate or Z angles. We are looking at corresponding angles. Okay, now this is our F here, if you can look. Okay, that is the shape of the F. So I know this angle here, which is 120. So straight away this angle C is 120. That is why to find C, C is 120 degrees. Okay, so today we are looking for the shape F. Okay, which is corresponding angles. Now here again, here is another example. Two parallel lines. We have our angle. Okay, if we cover this side here, then we have vertically opposite angles. Okay, which we did, I think, in the second angle video. Now with the parallel lines, now this shape, okay, so the F is here. Okay, now we've been given this angle here, so this angle 61 is the same as this angle C. Okay, so if this is 61 degrees, then this will also be 61. So find C will be 61 degrees. Okay, your ability to see these things in maths shows that you are growing in maths. Okay, because with a complex figure, there might be a C angle. Okay, there might be the F, and I'll introduce you the third one tomorrow. And if you have parallel lines, like a parallelogram, okay, or maybe a trapezium that has been slashed somewhere, and you are supposed to find the line attached to maybe a rectangle, you can easily find it using this concept I'm showing you. Okay, that's why I wanted to use a video to show you how to identify them. So yesterday we saw the C angles, Okay, today we are looking for the figure f. Okay, whether it's in the form of f or f in the other direction, as long as they are parallel, it's true. Okay, now let's look at more examples. Okay, so here's another example. Okay, so look at the shape carefully. These are two parallel lines. Okay, and that is the f here, there. So if I know this one on top, okay, then C here is corresponding to that one. Okay, so if this is 125, then that will also be 125. So C now is 125 here. Okay, then I can also use vertically opposite angles. If this is 125, then that will also be 125. So if there is a shape here that I'm supposed to find the angle, just by finding this angle, I can go ahead and use that knowledge. Maybe I've just been given one angle, and then I can use that knowledge to find this angle here. Okay, or assuming I can apply the Z shape, okay, that is a Z angle here. Okay, then I can use what we learned yesterday, apply it. So if this is 125, that will be 125. Angle on a straight line is 180, as we just saw in the starter. So we can subtract 125 from 180. Find this angle here. Okay, there. That is a full diagram. Now let's look at the next diagram. Okay, as I said to you, it won't be straightforward, so you might have to figure it out yourself. These are two parallel lines. Okay, whether the arrow is in that direction or in that direction, we know it's true. All these diagrams are not to scale. Okay, now we know this angle here, 48. Okay, so and we are asked to find this angle here, C. So if I use Z here, I wouldn't get C. Okay, and I should be conscious of time as well, because if I use this angle here, yes, I might end up getting Z, but it will take me a longer time as well. Okay, so this angle here, that is my F shape, F in the opposite direction. So this angle here should be equal to the angle here. So straight away, if this is 48, then that will also be 48. So even though it's an F10, like a downside, I should be able to see that, okay, and recognize that this C is equal to this C. So if I have only this angle, then this also should be C. So that will be C as well. And then if this is C, vertically opposite angles, that will be C. So angle at the point now, I know C 48, 48. That will be, all this for angle will be 360. So if I add 48 together and take it from 360 and divide by 2, I should know these two as well. Okay, so also if I can find the F angle here and I can find this C, then I should be able to find this angle using angle on a straight line or vertically opposite angles. Okay, that's the diagram. Now let's look at the next example. Okay, as I said, today we are just looking at F angles or corresponding angles. Okay, and that will be our fourth lesson. Okay, now here again, the F is not straightforward. That is the F here, from here to there, and that one there. Okay, look at the notes carefully, there and there. Now we know this angle. So from what we have been learning today, this angle is equal to that angle. So this angle is 118. That angle will also be 118. So C here is 118. Now our next example, again, this is also not straightforward because you know this angle here. If you are looking for the F that way, they are not asking you to find any angle here. They are asking you to find this angle. Okay, so my corresponding angle now, if I use this shape F, okay, the F can be like that or like that. Okay, look at what I'm showing you in the video. So if this is 133 degrees, that will also be 133 degrees. That is straightforward. Okay, if not, you might have to use angle at a point or vertically opposite angle, deduce this, and then use and find vertically opposite angles or use Z angles. Okay, but if you can just see your F, then this angle and this angle are equal, so you don't have to waste time. Okay, so C here is 133 as long as they are parallel. Okay, so that is the next one. Now let's look at this one as well. So this is another one. That is an F angle here. Okay, and that will also be an F shape here, but in the other direction. I haven't been asked to find any angle here. I've been asked to find C, so, and I know this angle. So with the F or the corresponding angle, okay, 62 degrees here, that angle, that will also be 62 degrees because of the parallel lines. So straight away, C is 62 degrees. All these diagrams are not in scale. Okay, are not to scale. Okay, so look at it again carefully. Okay. You should be able to see that. If you are not able to see that, as you do practice, you will start seeing it. Okay, and then it will help you a lot, because as easy as angle work is, a lot of students won't answer them because they feel it's complicated. But if you know these simple rules, you can answer and solve any answer questions. Okay, so far we've done vertically opposite angles, we've seen angle at a point, we've seen Z angles, we've seen angles on a straight line. Okay, so we know a lot of things that we can use to solve. Okay, so your ability to just see this and look at the shape F and say that this should be equal to this will be very, very helpful. So if this is 62, that will be 62 as well. Now another example, two arrows is parallel. Now we know this angle here, okay, and we are asked to find C. Again, that will be our F here, our corresponding angle. This is the F. So if this is 140, then that will also be 140. Okay, but even if you can't see the F that way or that way, okay, you have a lot of knowledge now, okay, to answer some of these questions. So for instance, that is a Z here, okay, so if this is Z here, okay, and this is 140, so you can use this knowledge to find this angle here and then use that angle on a straight line to find this one. Okay, but if you can just see the F straight away as I'm showing you today, then it's a straightforward thing. So 140 here, 140. So C here again is 140. So what have we been doing today? We have done some recap, okay, of what we've been doing so far. Okay, I showed you an example of what we did yesterday, the Z angles. Okay, and then I did a quick starter with you on angle on a straight line, okay, which adds up to 180. So we looked at that. And we said the shapes will not always be straightforward. If it is turned upside down, you should be able to see that. Okay, and that will only come by practicing. Okay, and then I encourage you to watch, because with this you need to watch the video and see what I'm explaining and how to see the shapes. So, and then I introduce you to corresponding angles or F angles, where this C here is equal to this C here and C1 equals to C1. And I've shown you different shapes of how they might look like. So they might not be like a straightforward F, but it can be F10 in the opposite direction. As long as there are two parallel lines and you can see that, then you can apply that because it will be true. If they are not parallel lines, please do not apply them. So I've shown you a lot of shapes and we've done a lot of examples as well. Okay, so this is what I have for you today. Okay, thank you very much for watching our lesson today, and I'll see you in the next.